Good morning, Judge.
Morning. What do we have? Mr. Ali and Ms. Ochoa, if you can unmute, please.
Good morning.
Morning. Each raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I swear.
Okay. Ms. Ochoa, you brought the suit. What is this about?
Yes, I brought this suit against my former landlord, Your Honor.
Okay.
You want me to give you a summary?
I want you to present your case.
Okay, Your Honor. So I signed a lease around February 20th, 2020.
Okay.
It was a 1-year lease term for to go from May 1st, 2020 to April 30th, 2021. Then on December 30th, 2020, I sent an email to my landlord letting them know that I did not intend to renew my lease. And on January 5th, 2021, I received an exit letter from my landlord. The exit letter said, that I had to make sure that I paid, the full lease term and that my move out date would be April 30th, 2021. I did let them know that, if they found somebody new to rent the apartment, that they could go ahead and let me know and I could leave the apartment. Like I could, take all my furniture out to allow someone new to move in. They did let me know that would cost me to have to pay like an early termination fee.
Okay.
So everything was fine and then on February 1st, I received an email from them telling me that an application had been processed and they had, an approved lease. If I could get all my belongings out so that somebody could move in by February 1st.
That's a letter or that's an email? What is it?
It's an email. Yeah, so I don't know if you got all my exhibits I submitted.
Email them?
Yes, I emailed them on August 30th, I believe. When I saw the docket, it showed that the exhibits had been received. So
Okay.
I submitted.
Just give me a minute. Let me try to find them. 1 second.
Okay.
You said you sent them on August 30th?
Yes.
Okay, Rick Larson.
Or August 31st. Sorry.
Is it coming from you?
Yes, from my email.
Claudia Ochoa.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna bring them on the screen. 1 second.
So yeah, so you could see the lease agreement,
Okay, so this first one is,
oh yeah, so that's a summary of everything that I'm telling you right now, that first one. And then I reference
the second one is lease agreement.
yes.
Okay, and Here's. Where is the lease term? Let's see, here we go.
It's on
May
page 9.
1st to April 30th. Okay, okay. What else would you look at? Is this the email you're talking about?
Yes, the email where I'm letting them know, I intend to not renew my lease. If you find someone else new, let me know. And
Okay, so
basically-
what we're looking for is, you said there was an email to you saying they found somebody, maybe February 1st.
Yes, let me let you know which email that is. So I think it's
Later, I don't have any other ones. Let's see.
an email. So I have on here that it's exhibit 5.
On this same email?
So I sent several emails. So if it's not on there, it may be on the next.
Oh, here we go. Here's some more exhibits.
Yeah, I said. So it's
Is there
probably
one of these here?
if you want to press where it
Okay.
says 2, you see below Claudia Ochoa, and then it has like 2 other emails. Yeah, so they there. There.
One of these here?
Yes, exhibit 5. So the one right next to EPSD property, that one, yeah.
On the case itself.
Yeah.
There's some, the emails are right there.
Okay.
There, and there might be 0
Okay.
5.
This is this one you're referring to?
Yes, so you see where.
January 14th, we have a customer that interested in you. We would like you to move in and would like to move by 2/1. Let me know if you agree with this or if you have an actual date that you turn your keys. Please remember that you're still bound to pay the rent to the end of your lease. What? Okay. So they want somebody to move in February 1st,
Yes,
but you're still responsible for the rent to April 30th.
yes.
Okay.
So I said, basically I said I was okay with that, that I understood that I could, get my belongings out. So basically what would happen is I would have to pay an early termination fee of some sort of $1,275. But at least I wouldn't have to pay for the rent.
This is about the rent.
It's $1,500 plus a trash fee. So it equals $1,525 per month.
Okay.
So, the trade-off would be if they're able to move in somebody earlier, yes, I would have to pay an early termination fee, but at least I wouldn't have to pay rent for the month of February, March, and April, right? So then I relied on this. So I, quickly gathered all my belongings, all my furniture. I tried to clean up the apartment. And then, so I'm sorry, I'm looking for my timeline of events. On February 1st, I received an email from the defendant, and I have it marked as Exhibit 6, stating that an application had been processed for an actual move-in date of March 1st. So on February 1st, they told me, oh, no, sorry, like it's actually till March 1st. And that I have to surrender, my keys and garage door openers no later than February 28th, so that somebody new could move in by March 1st.
Just a minute, I'm going to share the screen so you can point out the email, please.
Yes, it will be the
This
next
is the
one.
one.
Let me see. It's the one that I received from them on February 1st. Yes, it's higher up.
I'm just trying to see which direction these are going. Looks like the
Sorry.
there's, one second. Let me try your email. Maybe that might be. Second.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. Okay, here's these emails. Is it in
Yes, so that's 5, 6.
12?
It would be the second to the last on that.
This
Or
one?
is it proposed exhibits 3 to 7? And you see how there's 5 attachments. It would be that one. Yes.
Okay, so before this, you were getting out by February 1st. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, that's what they had told me. They had told me, hey, can you get everything out by February 1st? We have somebody interested to move in by that date. So by that point, I had already gotten everything out and assumed that somebody was going to move in then, but it didn't happen. And then they told me, okay, now it's March.
Okay,
And then, I remember calling them and they're like, yes, everything's ready to go. So I even, let's see here.
did you move out by February 1st?
Yes, all my belongings were gone by that date.
Did you turn over the keys?
No, not yet. Not yet. I hadn't surrendered them.
Okay,
So then, on February 8th, I sent, and it would be that one, yes, I sent the defendant an email confirming that I had already disconnected my utilities, to allow the new tenant to connect the utilities themselves, starting March 1st. But then on that date, I received an email from the defendant telling me, oh, that no, nobody was going to move in on that date. So it would be the next
this one?
Yes. That there was no signed lease yet.
Okay,
So then, on February 16th, I received an email from the defendant informing me that there was a water leak at the unit. And then the next email from February 19th shows that they informed me the water leak had been fixed, but they actually failed to notify me that they had gone into my apartment and removed a hinge from my restroom cabinet door. And that's the next exhibit, so exhibit 10.
oh, is this the right one?
Yes, that's exhibit 11, but that's where I'm going to next. So I sent them an email because, I would constantly check on the apartment since I was still paying for it. I was still paying utilities. I would constantly check to make sure everything was good. And that's when I realized that they had removed a door from the restroom cabinet. So I said, I sent him an email saying, hey, why is my restroom door broken? That's not how I left it. And then, and I took pictures of the damage. I don't know if you could see it on there. And I sent that to them asking, why did you do that? That's not how I left my restroom.
Okay,
So then on March 2nd, which would be the next email, so below, sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, that one. On March 2nd, they emailed me explaining that the removal of the hinge from the door was a mistake from the maintenance crew, and that they should have it replaced. They should have replaced it right afterwards.
Okay.
But they never replaced the hinge at any point while I was still paying rent for the unit.
You
Then,
paid rent for the month of March?
yes, yes.
Okay,
So then on March, let me see where I was at. Yes, so then on March 8th, I
could be
received,
this next group?
yeah, the next one. I received an email from the defendant stating that they had signed a lease effective April 2nd, 2021. They did not ask me for, prior approval to ensure that that was an okay move-in date for someone else so that we could schedule a walkthrough and so that I could surrender my keys. So I had basically not surrendered the apartment yet. I was still paying rent. And on this same date, I notified them that because my lease term ended on April 30th, I'd rather just pay the lease for that last month rather than have to incur an early termination fee on top of having to pay they told me I had to pay a prorated rent for April 1st. So I was like, yeah, no, I don't think that's going to work out for me. I'd rather just pay for that last month and I could still use the apartment. So basically where I work, I have an office on the west side. So I was like, I could still use the apartment, continue working from there. I'll just finish my term for the lease. And they refused. They said, no, you have to pay
Is
us.
this where you're saying, what is this email?
Let me see. Yes, that's me informing them that I rather pay. Yeah, so I said, I don't want to pay just for $50 extra for just the April 1st, on top of paying a reletting fee of $1,275. I said, I'm technically not terminating my lease early because it ends in April, and you're still wanting me to pay all these extra fees. So I told them, look, if we can work something out where you don't have me pay all these extra fees, it's fine. Like, I'll surrender the apartment. Otherwise, I'd rather just stay in the apartment until the end of my lease term.
Okay,
They refused. I remember I even tried to pay the rent at some point, but they had canceled my online account, so I couldn't pay the rent for April anymore. So basically, we ended up scheduling a walkthrough. So I'm on paragraph, let me see. Yes, so I'm on paragraph 14 of my pleadings, and I'm referring to exhibit 15.
okay, let me get to your pleadings, 1 second.
They were like the first email on
Oh, the email, you want me to email your pleadings?
so
Here's your pleadings, is that what you're referring to?
let me see. No, so I sent another like very detailed list of pleadings, and it's on my emails if you want to see it. On the first email, it's the first very first attachment. That one, yeah. So that's where I'm going through. So I'm on paragraph 14 now.
Okay,
So, on March 10th, I emailed the defendant with a list of my concerns. I said, look, I informed you, yes, that I was willing to terminate my lease early, but I understood that I'm liable for the full term of my lease, and that I was willing to basically pay a reletting fee if you found a new tenant before the end of my lease. The notice that I gave them stated that my actual move out date would be April 30th, 2021. And I let them know, look, you were unable to find someone prior to the end of my lease term, but you still want me to pay rent for April 1st. You want me to pay a relating fee, even though it's the last month of my lease term already. So I said, the reletting fee should not apply to me because my lease ends in April, and you still want me to pay rent for the month of April. I said, look, you have not even set up a walkthrough with me to finalize the move out date. You did not even ask for my consent, prior to having somebody sign a new lease to ensure that I was okay with that move-in date. And I explained to them, they've gone into
what, second?
Yeah, the April 2nd.
Okay,
I said, you went into my apartment, removed a cabinet door without my consent. Then they had me initial a document, the exit letter, which I believe the exit letter is exhibit 2, Your Honor.
so go back here, this one?
No, no, actually, I'm sorry. Let me see. It's exhibit, small claims. Scroll down a little bit. It's exhibit 4. I'm sorry, that one, the one that says that one. Next one. Sorry, it was the next, that one. Yes. So this was the letter they gave me. That was like they called it, like, I guess, the exit letter.
Is January 4th though?
Yes, I think they accidentally put the wrong date on it. They probably meant January 4th, 2021, not 2020, because they sent it to me in 2021. So it was this
Okay.
year. I think that may have just been a typo. But they had me initial this document saying that I was giving up $300 of my deposit for general service of my townhome. I was like, I don't understand what, this general service means. You cannot keep my deposit for normal wear and tear of the property. I told them that their actions showed, in my opinion, a pattern of disrespect for my rights as a tenant. I always paid my rent on time. And I let them know I was willing to work with them as long as we could find a solution to our disagreements. I let them know that I was not willing to pay rent for April 30th, for the month of April, on top of a reletting fee, because it was already the last month of my lease.
Okay,
And then I said, if we can work something out, we can set up a walkthrough date, and I'm willing to pay a reletting fee for the month of April, so long as you don't make me also pay rent on top of a relating fee. I said, otherwise, I'd rather just pay the full rent for the entire month. So, they refused. So we ended up just scheduling a walkthrough. At first, they didn't want me to be present at the walkthrough. And that's on Exhibit 14, the email exchanges. They said, oh, due to COVID, we rather just do everything like you leave your keys there and then somebody will go in and look at it. I was like, well, I want to be present. I want to make sure, that there's nothing wrong with the apartment. You want to charge me anything, I want to know what it is. So eventually they agreed to let me meet with the representative in person, so long as I wore a mask. So we did that on March 22nd. I met with a member of the maintenance crew. I believe his name is Armando. And he only took pictures of the unit. At no point did he inform me that there was anything wrong with the unit that required maintenance or service. And on this same date, on March 22nd, I surrendered my keys and the garage door opener. And then on April 23, 2021, I received a letter dated April 20th.
one of these.
2021. It's Exhibit 17. So it would be the last one from, that one. That's the letter I received.
Deposit is 1,500.
Yes, deposit 1,500, and then they charged me the lease early termination fee, 1,275, prorated rent for 1 day in April, which
What? Okay, so I'm just trying to follow this. 1,500 deposit, and then 125 is a balance. What's the 125 owed for?
that's what I asked them. That's exactly my issue. They said I owe them $125. And I said, why? Why do I owe you $125? On May 12th, they sent me an email, and that's the next exhibit, saying that if I didn't pay the $125, they would send me to collections. So I said, so it's Exhibit 17, let me see. Yeah, so maybe the email before, that's when they asked me and said, hey, no, let me see. Maybe it's not included. Let me see. So they sent me an email. Maybe we'll find it in one of the next ones, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but they sent me an email saying, look, let's see if you scroll down a little bit more. Oh yes, that one, there it is. You have a balance of 125 still pending to be paid. Please call and pay. If you don't pay within 3 days, we're gonna send you to a collection agency.
Okay.
Like, okay. So I emailed them saying, well, I don't understand what that $125 balance is.
So what this is?
Yes, it's all that. I said, I need an itemized, detailed explanation of why I owe you $125. I informed them that under the Texas property code, if they retain any part of my security deposit, they need to basically inform me, give me a written description, an itemized list of all the deductions. I didn't owe them any rent. As you could see, rent had been paid. They show their payment for $1,525. And they informed me that they had already sent me an itemized letter, and they were referring to this letter. I said, but that letter doesn't tell me why you kept my entire security deposit on top of a $300 service fee. I said, what's that service fee for? What did you do with my money? So basically they just kept on telling me they were going to send me to collections and to refer to that letter. So I sent them a demand letter, and that's Exhibit 19. So it's that one, yes. That's what I sent them. I said, hey, look, and I got this off the internet, Your Honor. They have a template, and then I added down here explaining everything. So I said, look, you have to give me back my security deposit. You didn't tell me that there was anything wrong with the apartment.
Okay.
And they just sent me a letter, an email on May 13th, the next day, saying, no, look, we mailed you a letter already, which was they were referring to that April 23rd letter. So I said, look, no, I'm disputing this charge, and because I need to know why you kept $300. I said I need basically receipts and proof of whatever it is that you use those $300 for. I said, it's your burden to show that my security deposit was not used to cover normal wear and tear of the apartment.
Okay.
So then I sent him that demand letter. So then they sent me an email on May 18th, and I called it Exhibit 21. So it's that last email. So it would be one of those.
Not this one?
Yes. Maybe scroll. Oh, yes, that one. Claudia, according to Texas law, yes, they told me that under Texas law, landlords have the right to withhold security deposits for which the tenant is legally liable under the Texas security deposit laws or as a result of breaching the lease. So basically, I was never informed that my apartment was in any need of repairs beyond normal wear and tear. Therefore, to me, it's not clear why the defendant kept all of my security deposit, especially the purported $300 service fee, and I didn't breach my lease. In fact, I was willing to pay the lease until the end of my lease term, which was April 30th. So on May 18th, I asked the defendant via email if they intended to reach an agreement with me outside of court, or if we had to go before a judge to sort this out. So basically, and that's the same day that I filed the small claims petition against the defendant. And on the next day, the defendant told me that I would be referred to a collection agency by the end of the business day if they did not receive the $125 payment.
Okay.
That's Exhibit 23. So on May 19th, I emailed the defendant, informing them that I had already filed the petition in small claims court and that I would be contesting all their charges. And I emailed them a copy of the small claims petition.
Okay.
So basically, my issue, Your Honor, is that the defendant received the benefit of leasing the apartment to a new tenant at the end of my lease term, which was April 2021. Despite this, they still charged me an early termination fee.
The new tenant moved into your place when?
April 2nd.
Okay.
They still charged me an early termination fee of $1,275. The defendant kept my entire security deposit of $1,500. They charged me a prorated rent fee of $50 for April 1st. And they also charged me a $300 fee, a quote unquote service fee for unknown services.
Let me just go through this with you. So this is your deposit here where can you see my cursor?
Yes, Your Honor.
The $1,275 is the early termination fee. How does that, I don't understand how this adds up to $1,625. So they're saying they're giving you a credit for $1,500. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you get $1,500 credit and leaves a balance of $125. A credit on what?
The deposit.
Okay, but a credit towards what? That I guess I'm asking.
No, she has 1,500. Do you want me to start, Your Honor, or to wait?
If you can tell me what the $1,500 was applied to.
Well, the $1,500 is the deposit. she has a credit with us, $1,500 of a deposit.
Okay, so.
And
tell
the
me,
early termination fee is $1,275. It's in the lease in paragraph.
okay, so how did you come up with 1625 here?
No, there is not 1625, Your Honor. You're not looking at it correctly. It says, look
Where
at
my
the date.
cursor, where my cursor is, does it not say 1625?
That's her rent, 1525. Her rent and
1625 is the rent.
for March. She paid, this is a statement for her end of March. You see the date there at the bottom? The trash fee is $45. You're looking at it upside down, Your Honor. The March 1st is the trash fee. March 1st, $1,500, the March she paid us, which is $1,525 of payment for March.
Okay, so you
rent.
got a zero balance.
Yes. And then she has a $300 service fee. And
Okay, so this is going up. Okay,
yes, sir.
yeah, 350.
And then leave her with a balance of
Okay,
125.
okay, so now, so it's going, okay, got it. Okay, so, and so Mrs. Ochoa, you didn't pay the rent for
April.
April.
I had to pay a prorated rent for, you see where it says April 20th, prorated rent of $50 for the month of April, for
Okay,
April 1st.
okay, okay,
Yes, and then they charge me the early termination fee of $1,275. And then they charge me this service fee of $300, which I have no idea what they're using those $300 for. And they said that then they used my deposit to cover all these charges, and I still had a balance of $125.
okay, okay, now tell me what you're suing for.
I'm suing for the rent that I paid for the month of March and the rent that I paid for the month of February.
Why?
Because they told me, hey, we have somebody ready to move in if you can surrender your apartment. So basically I relied on those emails to get all my stuff out, all my furniture out, all my belongings, and then for them to just kind of keep on, toying with me saying, oh no, sorry, didn't go through, next time, we'll keep trying. And then eventually they did get somebody to sign a lease, but it was till April when my lease was already over anyway. So had they
So that would-
allowed me,
So that'd be 3,050 that you're suing for those 2 months, correct?
yes.
Okay, what else?
And then I'm not really familiar with the law, Your Honor, but I want my security deposit back. And because I didn't receive an itemized, description, telling me what they use my security deposit for, especially that purported $300 service fee, I want my security deposit back, which is $1,500. And I don't know if because the landlord didn't provide it within those 30 days, then I can get my security deposit back ×3 plus $100. So that would equal $4,600 plus the rent I paid in February, the rent I paid in March. And I came up with a total of $7,650, Your Honor. And it's the last paragraph, page 34. Paragraph 34 of my pleadings. You could see
Okay,
my calculations.
okay, Mr. Ali, do you have any questions of Mrs. Ochoa?
Well, can I start my
Do you have any questions of Ms. Ochoa?
a question for her? At this point, I would like to expand to answer all the
Okay.
points she made.
Okay, I just asked you, do you have any questions of Ms. Ochoa?
Oh, okay. Yes, I do have one question for her. She keeps saying, we have told her, we told you that we have a signed lease. When did that happen? I mean, when all that was in February and March, and before in February, we did mention to you, and you read it, Your Honor. It says we have an application. We did not have a signed lease. Until we have a signed lease, then you are responsible. If you go back to her email, Your Honor.
You have a question.
My question to her, did we tell you we have a signed lease and move out? Did we tell you that?
I think the question is, did we tell you we had a signed lease?
Yes, so I would like to point
So
you
can
to,
you show us where? Where did we tell you we have a signed lease?
Wait, let her answer your question first, and then you can go on to the next one.
to Exhibit 5, Your Honor, where it's an email dated January 14th.
This one? January? Okay,
So they said, hey, we have customers interested in your unit that would like to move in by February 1st. Let me know if you agree, so that, we can turn in your keys. Please remember, that you're still liable for the rent until the end of your term. Please keep in mind that there's no guarantee that it will be leased, but basically, the opportunity to show it would help rent the unit.
this question is, did they ever tell you they had a signed lease?
I guess here, no, Your Honor. I think they told me about, let's see, the next email. Exhibit 6, Your Honor. It's dated, the email is dated February 1st. That's another email. That one. Yes. So here it's to notify you that they have a processed and approved application for my unit. And they just need a confirmation that the move-in date could be March 1st before the lease is signed. So then if I could confirm that by March 1st, I could basically give them back, basically surrender the apartment.
Okay, Mr. Ali, any other questions?
Yeah, so she did not answer. We did not give her, we did not give you a definite date. We have a signed lease. All this is application and did not go through. I would like, Your Honor, at this point, I don't want to ask her any question. I just want to go through all the emails she sent us and all the notices she had sent us, if you could allow me.
Go ahead.
Okay, Your Honor. If you go back to my email, we sent it to your clerk, Ben, all the attachments there.
What date?
Was on, let me, I'm looking, oh, this is not my emails. Let me open my email, Your Honor.
Is this it? This, the
Yes,
ones that are on the screen?
yes, Your Honor, but you need to go back to all the attachments.
I'm at the very top.
No, there's like, this is one attachment of the emails and there's attachments. You want to start for the first one. This is December 30th, when she gave us her notice. She'd be moving out the end of April when her lease expired. Then if you scroll down the next email, we responded to her in January the 4th. We cannot guarantee that your unit will be rented before the lease ends, and you're responsible to pay the rent until the end of the lease. Please note that if we receive signed lease for the unit, you are still liable for the penalty of breaking your lease with EPSD Property Management. We are going to send you an exit letter in the next few days that will help you to prepare for your move. Please let us know if you have any further questions. So in the beginning of the lease, there's a policy, Your Honor, and there's an attachment there. She signed it and she agreed on the policy. There's some $300 it'll be charged to her when she moves out. That's when she signed the lease.
Where is that?
Go back, Your Honor, to the attachments.
I provided the lease agreement to Your Honor. It's the first exhibit right after my pleadings. And I have gone through that over and over and I find nowhere.
One second, we're gonna just get to the lease.
Your Honor, you let her talk. I did not interrupt her with all her talking. So
I'm sorry?
I would like I mean, we're going through the case. You allowed her to talk and I wasn't able to talk.
I'm not understanding what you're telling me.
No, we were listening to her earlier and I did not interrupt her with her conversation.
I'm just trying to find the lease so you can point out that clause.
Yeah, it's right here, Your Honor. There's 5 attachments.
Right where?
on the same email I sent you.
What, I haven't got to the email that you're sending me. I went to the case. Tell me the date you emailed it.
Let me go to my email inbox.
Your Honor, if you want, you can find a copy of the lease in my email, and it's
Okay.
the second attachment.
Okay, and I'm sorry, but I lost where your email was. What date was
Oh, it's
it?
above. It's above, Your Honor. It's at the very top.
Here we go. Okay,
Now this way, yes.
okay, so the lease is here, so,
Yes, the first one, the first email, Your up above. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
On the first page of the lease, it says their policy manual.
So right there,
Fine.
the second email, that one. Yes.
Okay. Now, where is this clause for the $300, Mr. Ali? Is this the lease?
Yes, this is the lease, you're right.
Okay, where is the clause for the $300?
If you keep going in the policy, Your Honor.
You don't have a number or a page?
The page number, no, I don't. There's 73 pages there.
Okay, well,
Hold on
that means,
here, hold on, Your Honor, right here. See, special provision. Policy processing manuals is an addition, addendum to this lease.
okay, where
And in the
okay,
end
where
of
is
the
the
lease-
policy processing manual?
It's in the end of the lease, Your Honor, in the last few pages. So you need to go faster, Your Honor, and you'll see it in the end. It's the last one, Your Honor.
Here's Vestas addendum.
It's the last one, Your Honor.
Okay, I heard you. And that's the last.
No, it's not here, Your Honor. She moved it probably. Let me. It's in
It's
the-
a secure, I'm sorry, Mr. Ali, but it's a secure document. It's password protected. That's the way you all sent it to me. I cannot, I don't
I'll
want
send
to
it. Just give me a
make
few
any
minutes
changes.
and I'll show you, you signed for it. You signed.
Why wouldn't it be included in the secure document?
I don't know why, Your Honor. I have it in mind. I'll show it to you. If you allow me, I mean, I did send all these documents
No, nobody's stopping you.
to,
He said if you allow you, nobody's stopping you.
okay, if you open the email for Ben, can you ask Ben, what is all the attachment we sent him?
When did you email it?
We send it on the, right here, Your Honor. There's all the attachment. We send it to Ben.
Okay, when did you email it?
It's on Wednesday, September the 1st at 3:41 PM.
Okay, Ben, is it part of the case or is it
Right here.
policy process manual? Here we go. Let's see what this is.
Can I see it, Your Honor?
Is this what you're referring to?
Yes, Your Honor. And the second page, and that's her signature and my signature. Where it's highlighted.
You, when you move out, $300 is good about retain for service charge of the unit. And so,
Yes, Your Honor. She signed it when she signed the lease.
okay, Mrs. Ochoa, is this,
And then when she, Your Honor, sorry to interrupt. And then when she moved out, we sent her the exit letter. If you could allow me to make my case, Your Honor, because I did not have the opportunity to answer all the questions that she was asking. I'm not asking, she was mentioning. You know, in January the 4th, that's when we sent her notice back. and telling her she needs to sign the exit letter if she wants to move out. And she did sign the exit letter, and we did mention to her about the penalties and about the early termination fee. And she did not refuse. She just continued. Please find me somebody. If you go back to her emails, she sent it to us,
Tell me what you want me to go
to the emails you had earlier, Your Honor.
I can't just say to go to emails. You got to tell me what you want me to go to so I can go to it.
When email? January the 4th email.
Okay, January 4th. Okay.
And then January the 6th, she signed the exit letter. She agreed to pay the $300.
You want me to find January 4th email?
Yes. Well, they're next to it, after each other.
January 14th.
January 4th, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm looking for it. January 4th. Okay, what is it on this one you're pointing out? Okay, I'm sorry, just a minute. Let me get it. I'm sorry, I wasn't sharing it. Okay, there it is.
No, that's not mine. Your
You said
Honor, that's
January
her.
4th email. This is a January 4th email.
Okay. Yeah, it says there in the bottom, we are going to send you an exit letter in the next few days. We'll help you to prepare to move out. Then if you go back to January 6th email, she signed the exit letter.
What, okay, you need to tell me where you're referring to and what document. I mean, just spouting it out doesn't get me there.
Your Honor, if you open,
He's
if
referring to
you,
Exhibit 4. I'm sorry, I can.
Your Honor, you're
That one.
using her evidence.
This one here? Okay,
That's the
Right.
exit letter he's referring to.
Exactly. She signed it on January the 6th, agreeing she'd be paying $300 to be deducted from her deposit when she moves out. In the second page, Your Honor.
okay, if she moves out early. Yes, I got it. If she moves out early, correct?
No. It's not about moving early or moving late. This
Okay.
$300 applies for any tenants moves out from the unit as a service fee, and they agree when they sign the lease, and they agree when they move out, when they give out their notice. So clearly she did give us her notice, and she did in her emails, giving us a permission to lease, and she mentioned that earlier, that we need to find her somebody to take over her lease. We tried to find her somebody the first time, the application did not go through, or the tenant changed their mind, but we always kept telling her we have somebody and we're working with them, and we just kept her updated until finally we got a signed lease in February the 20th of 2021, and we did advise her that that tenant, he signed the lease to move in April 2nd, and she had agreed to that, and she agreed, and she kept the unit. She had all her utilities, she has all the keys in the units, and she occupied the unit. We did not know if she moves out.
Renting it. Why, she was renting it. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah, which is fine. We did not ask her to leave until we got the final executed lease dated, which is, you have a copy of it, Your Honor, on February the 20th for the tenant to move in April 2nd, and she agreed to that.
Where do you want me to go?
To the emails, Your Honor.
What emails? There's probably 50 emails. What email do you want me to show?
Okay, if you give me 1 second, I'll tell you which email. March 8th email.
Okay. And Ms. Ochoa, is this in your group?
It is, Your Honor. I added it to, let me find it. It's gonna be, I called it Exhibit 13. So it's
13. So it's going to be here.
a little bit further to the right. That one's 9. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it's the one dated March 8th. So
March 8th, 1:43 p.m.
So down here. I called it.
You did not put it, Your Honor.
No, it is here.
Mr. Ali, you show me where you put it and I'll look to yours.
Well, if you go to my emails, Your Honor, you'll
Okay,
find
I'll
it.
go to your emails.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know what happened, Your Honor. There's an email. There was an email between those.
I'm
two.
gonna go follow Mr. Ali's emails.
Okay.
Let me get your emails.
You're not, Your Honor, you need to use my emails as well, not just her email.
If you tell me,
Your Honor, you're not,
If you show me where they're at, I'm happy to use.
I just said March 8th at 1:43 PM.
Okay, I suspect these are yours. Are these yours?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, I want you to stay on these emails with me so we could go over them. So we don't have to
Okay.
go back and forth. March
Okay.
8th, if you scroll down, there you go, this one. We have assigned a new lease for the unit that will be affected April 2nd. You will be responsible to pay the 1 day, which is before the new lease begin, which is the 1 day, the $50, prorated rent.
Why couldn't she just pay for the month of April and stay there?
Because she gave us an exit letter and she gave us a notice she wants to move out and to find her a tenant. And we did find her a tenant. And then she agreed to move out and she agreed to, and if you scroll down, how much, if you look at that page, how much will I have to pay for 1 day in April?
Where do you want me to scroll down to?
Did you, in the bottom of this page, do you see it? What it says there, Your Honor? It says, it's highlighted in the bottom. That's her response to us. And then if you go to the next page, just scroll down. It says, we are following the company policy. Yes, you are following the company. She asked for the walkthrough, to schedule a walkthrough on March. We told her about about the COVID and all that. And she needs to, we really don't like to do that because of the COVID. But then she insists she wants to do a walkthrough and we agreed to that. And we sent our supervisor, maintenance guy to do the walkthrough with her, which is, we did not charge her anything on repairs or anything on the unit, which is nothing, as you see on the final statement. So I don't know what's the argument about. The only charge we charge her, the early termination fee, and she agreed to that, and she knows it's in here. Yes, you have to pay the 1,200 early cancellation fee. And then if you look at in the bottom, and she said, thank you. I sent you a separate email asking you if I would willing to pay April 1st, $50, I would be willing to pay the relating fee. So she agreed if we waive the $50, Your Honor, she will pay the termination fee. If we just waive the $50, she agreed to that. It's in her writing here. So I don't know what's the argument about. She just said, waive the $50 and I'll pay you the $1,275. If you go to the next page, Your Honor, it says, I returned my garage keys. That's on March 22nd. I did spoke to my attorney and blah, 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 and whatever is that. I'm still willing my options and I'm finding them. It's just like talks. And I returned but you passed the walkthrough appointment. She made an appointment with us to do it on March 26th. And that's when she gave us the keys and she disconnect all her utilities. First, she said, I disconnected my utilities back on February and I moved from the unit in February. That did not happen, Your Honor. She moved out on March 22nd. That's the day when she gave us her keys and she disconnect all utilities. And Mrs. Ochoa, admit that. And all this email.
I'm gonna object to what you're saying.
Just a minute, Ochoa. You'll have an opportunity to respond. Just a minute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Your Honor. So we did the walkthrough. We leased her unit. She's liable according to the lease on paragraph 10(1)(b), section B, that she be liable for early termination fee. And we did mention it to her on January when she gave us her notice. According to Texas law, once the tenant give you a notice of moving out, and asking us to rent the unit, you can't go back and say, you know what, I changed my mind after I signed a lease with somebody else.
What day did she say she was moving out?
It's right there, said you are.
What date did she say she was moving out? And just show me the document.
Yeah, if you go March 22nd.
March 22nd?
No, in March 8th, she said March 22nd, I'll be moving out.
March 8th?
Is it?
Scheduling.
She scheduled the walkthrough.
I'm looking for the document. You said that she gave a move out notice that she was moving out by a certain date. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, let me find it for you, Your Honor. Okay, if you look into March 12, 1251. March 12.
These are
email.
March, I don't see a March 12th.
I could email it to you, Your Honor, right here. On March 12, she stated, I want to schedule a walkthrough on March 22nd at 8:00 a.m.
Okay.
And Mrs. Ochua agreed, she mentioned that to you.
Isn't that in
earlier.
response to your saying we have a tenant for April 2nd?
Yes, in my
Okay,
response.
so where did she say that she was going to move out by a certain date before that?
Well, she just mentioned to you. She did a walkthrough on the.
Where is the notice that says I'm moving out by such and such date?
Well, obviously, Your Honor, she did the walkthrough and she handed her keys up.
Is
to
there
us.
a document that says I am moving out by such and such date?
Yes, Your Honor, it's right there on the,
What document?
right here.
That says she's scheduling a move out in response to your saying I have an April 2nd tenant.
Uh-huh.
Where is the note saying I am moving out April 30th, or I am moving out February 1st? Where is
Well,
it?
here in the note, in the second page, it says, I moved out of the unit and I give my keys to the supervisor, including the
March
garage doors
22nd.
and all the keys.
This one here?
It's right here. I returned my keys and garage door openers today.
So this is the document, this is the
Yes,
document
yes.
you're considering as a move out notice.
Well, obviously, if somebody do a walkthrough, Your Honor, and give all his keys and empty the unit and disconnect the utilities, obviously, it says here, I moved out, I returned my keys and I returned my garage doors and I disconnect all my utilities. And she emptied the unit and she did the walkthrough officially with our supervisor and she requested it 2 weeks before this notice. She wants to do it at 8:00 in the AM, 10 days. She give us a notice, she wants to do that. And you could ask her that question. She did mention it earlier in her conversation. So, Your Honor, she breached the contract. Her lease ended April 30th. She moved out March 22nd. She paid for
Response?
March. She gave us the notice back on December 30th,
What notice?
notice of moving out.
I thought you said that was March 22nd.
No, Your Honor, this is the actual date when she moved out.
Okay, where is the notice that says I'm going to move out by a certain date?
This one here.
Then this is her move out notice.
Yeah, she moved out on the 22nd.
Okay, so then there is no move out notice dated December.
She gave us a notice that
No,
if we can find someone.
She gave us a notice in December.
Does that have a date that she's going to move out by?
No.
No.
She said if we.
Okay, so there is no.
She said if we find somebody, she said in her email, and she mentioned it to Your Honor, if we
Okay.
find somebody to lease the unit before her lease expired, she'd be more than happy to move out. So we did find her somebody.
That's not saying I'm going to move out by such and such a date.
Well, then this letter here telling us she moved out, she breached her lease, she broke her lease, she's entitled.
What was the email that you sent before this saying we have a tenant for April 2nd?
You just showed it to me, Your Honor. Your Honor, if you look at March 2nd, I just found it. We can schedule a walkthrough at your earliest convenience that we do not have to worry about any other issues.
Was it scheduled?
This one, yes, we scheduled on March 22nd, 8:00. And then,
Why would you wait 20 days to schedule it?
well, she wanted that. And then if you read that,
Just a minute. Answer my question. If she said March 2nd, let's schedule a walkthrough, why wasn't it scheduled then?
because she wanted on the 22nd at 8:00, that's her convenience. If you read March 12, she said.
There's not an email from you saying we have a tenant for April 2nd that comes in between that? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there is, Your Honor. Where's the-
Okay.
You showed it to me earlier, Your Honor.
The March 22nd is scheduled in response to your all's email.
Let me find it, Your Honor. You just, let me.
What's the question?
The question is, he needs to see where she said, I mean, we have a signed lease
Okay, the signed lease.
on this page.
This one.
March 8th, 1:43 PM.
March 8th. I don't see that in your emails.
Yes. It's
You just showed it to me, Your Honor.
March
Right
8th.
here,
There we go.
this one.
This is your all's, this is, oh, you're saying that we have a tenant.
Yes, we have leased the unit for April 2nd.
Yes, sir. She asked for a walkthrough, to schedule a walkthrough on March 2nd. Then we agreed to do the walkthrough on March 22nd. And then from the beginning, we
Because you
informed
have
her.
a tenant.
Yes.
You
we
have a
informed-
tenant.
We have a tenant, according to her, she said if you can find someone to take over my lease.
Okay.
That was on December 30th, the first email. Her
The first
email.
email, Your Honor, she asked us to find her a tenant.
Yeah, I've got that. I know that. And then you said we have one for February 1st. We have one for March 1st. Those fell through. Then comes one for April.
Right.
No,
And that's
sir.
when we got the executed lease on that one. But we did
Another one you
your
said I-
application. We did not say a signed lease. We said we have applicant.
You have
We do.
approved application is what you said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but then the tenant changed their mind. You know, they
Okay.
did not sign the lease.
Right.
They did not
So it
sign
didn't go
the-
through. It didn't go through. Right.
Yeah, so I cannot be obligated, you know, I mean, she's obligated to pay the rent until the end of April. If she moves before end of April, then she's reaching the lease.
And she has the right to stay there the whole term.
That is correct. But she
Okay, so
chose to.
she could have said, when you say I have a tenant, no, I'm staying the full term. I didn't give you, she didn't give you a notice. I'll be out by a certain date.
Right, but when we told her we have a signed lease, she scheduled the walkthrough for 8 o'clock, March 22nd.
Exactly. It was scheduled in response to your email saying we have a tenant.
Right,
Yes, sir. But she asked to find someone for her to take over the lease, sir.
I got that, yes.
we did the advertisement, we spent money to help her out to get the unit rented before the expired of the lease, but we
Okay.
couldn't.
Is it-
But again, we saved her money. She should have paid for April. So it's the same thing, Your Honor. You know, she should have paid us for April now. Now, April rent is $15.25. We only charge her $12.75 termination fee. If she wants to pay for April, that's fine. So she'll be in good terms and we return the $1,500 for her, Your Honor. We're saving her $300 of.
And you'd have two tenants occupying the premises?
No, Your Honor, she asked us to find her a tenant. We did, we went through that, 3 tenants until we got somebody signed the lease.
Okay.
And she agreed to move on March 22nd and she handed over all her keys and turned off her utilities.
Okay.
So I mean, what else we can do? I mean, we did not charge her for any repairs. She had mentioned about the doors or something like that. We did not charge her for that. We only charge her for the early termination fee plus the $300, which she agreed on when she signed the lease, and she agreed when she moved out on the exit letter twice. 2 times she signed documents saying she's gonna be paying us $300 service fee, Your Honor. Twice. And now she's saying, what is this? And we just sent her an itemized list. It's very simple, showing you the deposit, the termination fee, the $50 and $300. I don't know what else to send her, what other explanation. That's all the fees and it's part of the contract. Now she doesn't want to pay us. I don't know why. She has a balance of $125. It's a very simple case, Your Honor. And we don't need to go through all this, I mean, all day, because it's very simple. She gave us a notice in December. We worked with her until we find her somebody. We found her somebody. She gave us the keys. She gave us the unit. without any issues. We did not charge her any repairs, and we did some repairs to the unit, by the way, and we did not charge for it, which is fine. We tried to work out. She was a good tenant with us, and we were good with her too. So I don't understand why she doesn't want to pay us for February and March. She's obligated to pay us until April 30th. We helped her. We got somebody signed the lease April 2nd. She's liable until April 2nd to pay us the rent. That's what the law of Texas law, and that's what she signed a Texas agreement. TAA apartment agreement, lease agreement. She agreed to all that as part of the lease, part of all the addendums. Why she's why she's refusing not to pay if you signed the lease and all these addendums? I'm not asking her for something. It's not part of the lease. It's not part of her emails. It's not part of her addendum. It's in paragraph 10(1)(b). She needs to pay $1,275. She agreed to that if she moved earlier. And we mentioned to her in the email of January the 4th, we told her you're going to be responsible for the $1,275. And she agreed, and we moved on, and we found her somebody. So why she doesn't want to pay us now for February and March? She was occupying the place until she turned the keys on March 22nd, Your Honor. She decided to move earlier before the end of the month. That's her decision. It's not my decision. She paid us until the end of March. So why should we have to return rent for her if she did not give us the keys until the March 22nd and she did the walkthrough on March 22nd? I don't think we're here to return any rent she signed for, Your Honor. I'm here to answer any questions from you or from Mrs. Ochoa.
Ms. Ochoa, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor. Well, remember you were asking for that.
Just a minute. Do you have any questions of Mr. Ali?
Yes, Mr. Ali, I would like to point you to Exhibit 4, which is the exit letter. And I want to ask you what it says. If you can tell us what that exit letter says, what my move out date is. Can you please tell us?
1 second, let me find, here it is. Claudia.
It says April 30th. It says April 30th.
Just a
but
minute.
we decided-
Ma'am, you weren't asked a question. You're not the witness.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Is this the X? Just a minute,
It's the exit letter dated January 4th, 2020.
is it this one here, what I'm pointing to?
No, Your Honor.
That's a lease. No,
It's an email.
these lower ones.
There we go. It's, yeah, that one.
This one? Okay.
Okay, what's the question?
Can you please read the first sentence? What does it say my move out date is? The
This is
first
according to your lease, your move out date. Your lease will expire on April 30th. That's what it is. Yeah.
What does the notice say, Mr. Ali?
We received your notification that you will be moving out of your townhomes by April 30th, 2021, which is the end of your lease term. You have been excellent resident, and we wish you, and we will be in future, okay? I don't understand the questions. Yeah, that's, we know her lease ended on April 30th, and she sent us an email saying to find her somebody.
Mr. Ali, she just asked you a question. You answered the question. Ms. Ochoa, do you have any other questions?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to point the witness to Exhibit 1, the lease term. And it would be page 23, paragraph 37.
Page 23.
Paragraph 37.
37. Okay, go ahead with your question.
So can you please read that paragraph? Let us know what the move out procedures are.
I can't read it.
Just that you can just read that first sentence if you are able to.
Yeah, the move out date cannot be changed unless we and you both agree in writing, which is we agreed on writing March 22nd.
Well,
You want
let's
move
go
out.
to our emails. Let's go to our emails. The March 8th emails, where I want you to tell me whether you refused or not refused to let me just keep renting my apartment till the end of April 30th, where you
Yes.
actually said I could
Yeah.
not.
No, I could tell you without reading it.
A minute, Mr. Ali, let me get up the exhibit first and she can ask her question.
Let me find it, Ron.
Is this one?
It would be exhibit 14. Yes. Yes, I received an email. Okay,
Is that it?
so it's number 14, that one, yes.
And your question to Mr. Ali?
On which one? Question to me, or I need to ask, or she need to ask me?
He's going to ask you.
Did you ask for my prior approval for the move-in date for the subletter to move in on April 2nd? Did you ask me in writing, hey, is it okay if the tenant moves in by April 2nd? Did we agree to that in writing?
No, because you give us a permission on your January, December, no, in December 30th, in your first email, telling us to find you a tenant before your lease to be expired. And according to your conversation earlier, you were so happy when we find you somebody on February, and you start moving out your stuff when we notified you. And that's what you mentioned earlier. You said, yes, when you guys told me there is an application and it's going to go through, you start moving out already. And you already moved out of the unit, you empty the unit. So why you're surprised we got you a lease on April 2nd? If you already know in February, we have a lease, we have somebody had qualified, but then they did not go through. And then the second one went through. And then you agreed to do a walkthrough, and you set up the walkthrough. We did not set it up. You sent
Mr.
us
Ali,
an email.
the question was just, did you have something right? Your answer was no. Let's go to the next question.
Okay, and Mr. Ali, was I forced to basically set up the walkthrough because you refused to let me pay for the month of April? You refused to let me pay the full rent for the month of April.
Did you refuse to let her pay for the month of April? That's the question. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, because we have a signed lease.
Okay, so you refused it. Next question.
I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
Okay, anything you'd like to state?
Can I ask? Oh,
No, just a
Me, Your
minute.
Honor?
Yes.
Or, yes. I relied on the defendant's representations that they had somebody to move in by February 1st, and then by March 1st to remove all my belongings and furniture from the unit. So I removed everything and I still paid rent. And then, I did not end my lease term early by choice. They told me they had somebody there on April 2nd, and I figured, well, I might as well just keep the apartment and not have to incur a $1,275,000 early termination fee. Now, that $300 service fee, Your Honor, I don't remember the other document. I don't have a copy of it, but those are my initials. So I'm not going to deny that those are my initials. Those are my initials. But just because they're telling me that they're going to charge me a $300 service fee, in my mind, that does not waive the landlord's obligation to let me know what they're using my security deposit for. What is that $300 service fee for? I mean, in that case, if anybody could just charge money and call it anything, that would be pretty unfair. So I didn't realize that that's just me waiving $300 of my security deposit just because of something so general, so ambiguous, so vague as a service fee. A service fee for what? How do I know that it was not used for normal wear and tear of an apartment? The normal wear and tear is the defendant's duty to cover, not mine.
Okay, Your Honor, can I answer?
Mr. Ali, did you have any closing statement or anything you'd like to state?
Yes, I would like that. Your Honor, according to the Mrs. Ochua, December 30th email, she had asked us to rent her unit. She gave us a permission to rent the unit before the end of her lease, and which is we did. Find her somebody, and we executed the lease. After we executed the lease, she figured out, she said, no, I don't want to move out now. After she set up appointment on March 22nd, 8 o'clock in the morning, she requested that to do a move out, and voluntarily she hand over her keys and garage doors and disconnect all the utilities. According to her, our response to her on to her letters on December 30th, asking us she's going to be moving out and to find her somebody. We did respond to her in January the 4th, telling her there's a $1,275 termination fee. That's before we do anything. She did not say anything. She did not refuse. She did not agree because it's in the lease. We told her it's in paragraph 10(1)(b). So there's a termination fee if she moves out earlier, and she agreed to that. The exit letters, it says the $300. The policy, the first time when she signed the lease, she should have asked why before she moves to the unit, before she signed the lease, she read the lease. We sent it to her. She had the lease for 2-3 days to review it, and that's $300 on the policy. And Mrs. Ochoa, she admitted that she signed both the policy and the exit letter, and she know there is a $300. It'll be deducted from her deposit. Now she's questioning what is this $300 deposit, the $300 to be deducted from her deposit. She should have asked that question before she signed the lease, Your Honor. Before she signed the lease, she should have said, why are you charging us $300? She had the choice not to sign the lease. She had the choice not to move to our unit. Nobody forced her to move to our unit. She agreed. She signed the legal document. She's going to be paying $300, and she agreed.
Okay, we got the $300. Go. Do you have anything?
Well, that's the argument, Your Honor. It's $1,275 early termination fee and $300. That's what. And here, one of her emails saying she will pay the $1,275 if I waive the one day priority rent, pro rent. So she agreed to pay the $1,275. She agreed on the $300. The only thing she did not agree is the $50, the one day rent. That's what the argument about. Now she's changing all her stories and saying, I don't want to pay this, I don't want to pay that. And she agreed to all these documents. These are legal documents. And she should know she's in the legal path. And she should know all these documents are legally, she signed them. And she had the opportunity to review them. And she had the opportunity not to take our unit. And if she sees there's $300 going to be deducted and there is an early termination fee, Your Honor. Thank you.
Judgment is for defendant in the amount of $1,300. I mean, in favor of plaintiff, I'm sorry. We have each of your emails.
Yes, Judge, I have their email.
Okay. We will be emailing you a copy of the judgment. It's $1,300 for the plaintiff.
What is that $1,300 for, Your Honor?
That's the amount that I came up with. The judgment is for. $1,300 is owed to plaintiff.
Are we done, Your Honor? Or-
Yes, I'm going to email you a copy of the judgment. Any questions?
Thank you, Your
on
Honor.
either side? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, so
Yes.
I don't have experience in small claims court. How do I collect the $1,300?
Well, either party can appeal, so it's got to become finalized, but then you just have to research it. I can't give you legal advice.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all. I'm going to end the meeting.